Hello everyone, and welcome back to another country build. It's been a while indeed. But this time we're going over an Iraqi build. It's something I'm not familiar with myself, but when I was looking around in some countries, I saw this and I was like, that's something, alright. So let's look at it and let's explain what exactly it is. So this is called a mudhif or mudhif. I'm not quite sure how you say this in Iraqi, but it's like mud and then hif. So yeah, that's all I got right now. And it is a big, well, it's a fairly big. It's not that big actually in real life. In real life it's a little bit smaller, but it's still fairly big. Rebuilding it, they mostly built in the swamp area in the south of Iraq. Apparently you got swamp there. I didn't know that, so you learn something every day. But it looks like this kind of, so they use reed as for basically almost everything. There's no wood or anything else going in there. I guess they also kind of use like mud and such for like structural basis, but other than that it's mostly reed mixed with stuff. So yeah, if you want to build this thing, it looks yellowish, but because that's well, how it looks in real life. It's a lot of reed. So I tried to mimic that, and I didn't only want to use the stray because that's like the only block that we have that looks like reed. But I also used the stripped bamboo because that's close enough, right? Then obviously I did use some wood, even though I know it's not made out of wood. It is something that you want to use if you don't want this thing to look ugly, I guess. If imagine this only being stripped bamboo and hay, yeah, that's gonna be very yellow. Kind of an eyesore. So I tried to make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit more epic looking with adding some wood here and there. Like over here, for example, in the brims here, that's like the structure that keeps the hay together. We got the shelves, the jungle shelves, the bamboo shelves, and we also have some oak shelves to have some variation in colors. Because reed does get older, and when it gets older, it gets very dark. It's like kind of brownish. So the wood kind of mimics that. I tried to gradiate it from like very fresh reed here, the green, towards more yellow, the normal reed, and like somewhat dried reed, to like the older, I guess, from the stripped oak log. It would make sense that it works like that because the outer ends mostly get drier and older faster than the bottom parts. But over time it would look very dark, very brownish. You could almost get away with using the roof as like a very dark resource instead. Like if you go look at your logs that you have, it will almost go towards the stripped spruce logs. So that's also a material you can use if you want to make like an older midship. Then you can use even spruce if you really want to, but I wanted to do one that's like fairly new but not the newest, and therefore it looks very like decolored, and it's very a lot of variation in color as well. How this thing is made is mostly with a lot of pillars to hold everything together. So here you have like the main pillars in the front that keep like a structural basis of like the entire build, and you got those in the back and in the front. It's a very symmetrical building, which is very nice if you want to do something like that. And then you got all of these crosses, which basically adds more to the structure, like holds everything together. And I use hay bale here, as you probably noticed already. Those are like indicators that it's like tied together. This is kind of like a rope that holds everything close together. I do think it adds to the build because if I didn't do that, it will make it less clear, I would assume. I don't really know how you could do it. Maybe like with signs, but then again, signs can't really go in this kind of corner. Let's say you want to add this thing here with a sign, it can't really go in a corner like this, right? So you can do this, but then if you want to add them over here, that's like tough luck, right? I decided to use a hay bale as they do have the rope around the hay to keep it together. So I was like, yeah, might as well use that for the design itself. And I think it's fine. It looks fine for what it is supposed to be. It looks good, right? Then for the structure here as well, like he added one beam here that holds everything from down here together. It's just some normal bamboo trapdoors with packed mud behind it, because they can, I guess he could use mud or some older reeds to keep things together, like some sturdier reeds. That's how I did this. It's very symmetrical, as I said before, so it does add if you keep the same amount of space in between all the columns. The roof is mostly hay bale as well, as I said before. I did add some yellow terracotta and some mushroom blocks to make it, well, more variation in color, I would say. And on the side there are also some pillars here, but they're smaller pillars than the one in front, so they more like only come towards over here, towards the start of the roof. But they just hold the wall in place. And I did a little bit of interior. The interior has just a lot of reed beams. So all of these beams, they go all the way around. They basically hold the entire roof together. Kind of like a rib cage if you look at it like this. That's also how it is in real life. I do like that. The flooring is mostly just some sand or mud. But on top of that there's always carpet. They use those things a lot, and well, that's kind of what I've tried to mimic here. You have a big carpet in the middle, and on the side there's like some small individual carpets. You can like let those loose and spread them out instead, with some cushions on top here where you can just sit down and have a talk with your neighbor and people on the other side, even though you probably have to yell for them to understand you. So yeah, that's basically how this thing is built. It's a big open area, and that's also how it is in real life. It's just a big open area where you can chill with your bros. For those with a keen eye, probably also noticed that there's a lot of shelves, and that's well, I tried to play with that for one, because the shelves are very thin, so they work very well in a build like this because it looks very thin, and that's also what the reed is, right? And also from the outside it looks very interesting. I'm not quite sure what it is about the shelves. The shelves used to look very nice from the outside as well. And they can also be used as pillars, as you can see over here. There's some mud brick behind it, but it looks kind of like a pillar, you know? Works just fine. The trapdoors are jungle and copper. If you want to have some little pattern in your build, then you can do it like that, and it won't be that obvious until you really look at it. And I think I got over pretty much everything here. So it's a very simple build. Like, it doesn't have that much going on in it, but it's a very interesting build to look at. Kind of looks like a barn, but then bigger, you know. Alright, I hope you guys learned something just like I did about this one. It's a very interesting architectural build, and I really enjoyed making it. It's very simple. I think if I ever gonna build something like this again, it will probably be a lot smaller and probably be for my animals. Like, it just looks a very nice barn in maybe like a savanna or a mesa environment. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.